Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. My name is Bronte. I thought this week we could do another Commonplace video because my last one was really well received, so thank you very much if you watched that. It's from quite a long time ago, it's probably early this year, so yes, this has taken me a long time to get to do another one, but here we are. So yeah, I have the week off work, and because, you know, I have some extra time, I have been working in my Commonplace book again, which I haven't done for a long time. So it's actually really nice to come back to this space. So I thought we could do some of that together. It's feeling really cozy and ever so slightly autumnal here in London. So that's very nice. So we've got a candle lit. We have a cookie, and we have tea. I'm drinking this from Brew Tea Co. I think it's like blackberry and apple. It's like some kind of fruity one. So yes, you may remember, I think from the last video, this is my Commonplace book. This is an A5 Stalogy. It's dark green and it's the Yosaka exclusive green, so you can only buy this color at Yosaka in Greenpoint in New York. They obviously have it on their website as well, but yeah, I bought this when I was in New York last year, so I have the green one and I love it. And we've got some stickers on the cover, some from Coffee Monsters Co., Nicole Josephine, Honey Plum Paper. This is Catherine Karras, and then this one is from the Paper Narwhal. My pen pal sent that to me. Same with the Nicole Josephine one too. So yeah, this is an A5 Stalogy. The Stalogy has different grid sizes depending on the size of the notebook. So the A5 sizes have, ooh, sorry, I just sneezed. The A5 Stalogy has 4mm grid, and it's got paper similar to Tomo River paper like the Hobonichi books use, but it's a bit more textured, bit more like gritty feeling in a very nice way. I really like this paper, and there's a very light grid, and it has a kind of border, a margin. The grid doesn't go to the edge, which is really important for me. I think if a grid goes all the way to the edge, it can look messy. Just my personal preference. So I draw in margins with a pencil. This is 8 squares wide, and the margins I use for like annotating my own the information that is in here. So I don't know really the best way to describe a Commonplace book. I'm not necessarily like an expert, and I don't really think I use it in a not a correct way, maybe like a proper way is a better way of saying it. So I use this mainly for copying out quotes from my favorite books, or, you know, quotes that have really inspired me, or that I just find beautiful. And I'm a knitter, so I also put knitting ideas in here. So yeah, we have quotes from Hungerstone by Kat Dunn, which I absolutely loved. Yeah, just so amazing. I love that book so much. And then I also have character notes, or like notes on the characters in Hungerstone, because I was just so inspired by this book, basically. I've got some book things. This is my 2025 TBR. I don't know why I put this in here. Anyway, it doesn't really belong in here, but it's here. I was going to do this Kindle reading challenge, which I have read some of these, but not that many of them. There's a little collage. And some cozy home inspiration. And then we have copied out quotes from Sylvia Plath's Letters Home. An article about animals that live in hedgerows. And then more letters home. So I am like not so bothered about like breaking up things. I just give things a title, you know, breaking up things from the same book, because you can't always like have one massive copy out session. Also, like with the letters home, like it's long, so there was lots for me to copy out. There's some notes on Florilegium, which is kind of like it's a medieval reading practice that's an offshoot of Commonplacing tradition. So it's kind of like collecting little bits of information and kind of compiling them together, and it makes a new text. So that's kind of what I do with this book, to be honest. With especially kind of with the Sylvia Plath and the Hunger Stone, and I'm currently working on copying out the Secret History quotes that I like. Oh, the sun's gone in. That's making it more cozy. And then some notes about like Virginia Woolf's notebooks. That I thought it was really cool. She made her own edition of the Aeschylus play Agamemnon, which she cut up a 19th century edition of the Greek text, pasted the pages into a notebook, and surrounded the cuttings with an English translation and notes. And I think that's so cool. And then there's a quote from Virginia Woolf, which is from her diary. "I'm making a complete edition, text, translation and notes of my own, mostly copied from Referral, but carefully gone into by me." So Referral was the person who had translated that Agamemnon. And stuff about like using colourful pens and like making indexes of books that she was reading, which is very cool. Then I moved on to the journals of Sylvia Plath, and there is a lot of that, because that is also like, if you've seen it, it's a massive book. I think I was working on this last time I filmed this book. Knitting inspiration again, more knitting about fish. Greek alphabet, because I was really trying to learn Greek last year, and it's so hard, so I have kind of fallen off of that. More journals of Sylvia Plath. Some magazine clippings. This is about there's an article called Tokens of Affection. It was like things that you give like gifts to your loved one, like the history of giving gifts, because it was in the it was like a Valentine's sort of article. Some information about St. Valentine, and then more journals of Sylvia Plath. The lyrics to I Know the End by Phoebe Bridgers. I think this I did last time we wrote in here. And then some quotes from A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. I realised I never finished writing here about wanting to reread The Tainted Cup, which is the first book in this Robert Jackson Bennett series, so maybe I should go and fill that out. And this was from the same article as this, which was about floral fortune tellers using like flowers to do the he loves me not. I thought that was kind of cool. Okay, so this is where I have now picked up recently. So this is all quite old, and then this is where I've come back to the book. So more journals of Sylvia Plath. I've actually now finished copying out those, so I'm very pleased. These are some quotes from Tenderly I Am Devoured by Lyndall Clipstone. I actually haven't finished this book yet, but I'm almost finished, and I was reading it last night, and there's some more quotes that I want to add, so I might do that today. And then I've done some mood boards. Most of these, or all of these images really, are from Pinterest. And this was kind of some planner and journal inspiration, so I just pulled a load of stuff and like printed them out, and as I was kind of sticking things in, I realized that there's quite a pattern that has emerged with the way all like pages that I see and like. So it was interesting to do this activity or this exercise. So yeah, it's made me realise that I actually am really drawn to pages that don't have lots of decoration. If you've watched some of my previous videos, you may have seen my cousin, my Hobonichi cousin. So I do a lot of like stickering and decoration in this book. Obviously there's lots of writing as well, but yeah, it's quite sticker heavy. And it made me realise, like, looking at these things, these are not sticker heavy at all. So interesting, I guess. So that's what I was writing about in the margins, basically. And then some workspace inspiration, just because, I don't know, I love these photos and it's inspiring with all the books in the like tabbed books and stuff. And then some autumnal vibes. I'm just really having a great time with the like onset of autumn at the moment. So I made this little mood board. And then I really like to do things where I don't even know if this is something that other people really do, but I like to write like really tiny, like fine details of things. I don't really know how else to how to describe it. Basically, this is just like an autumnal vibes list, and I guess yeah, my brain processes things very well when I've written them down, so that's kind of where this came from. I also added some autumnal vibe books to reread, which I'll tell you. A Dowry of Blood, Carmilla, A Discovery of Witches, The Secret History, Her Soul to Take, and Hollow/Legend, which is a duology. And then I've left this page blank so I can continue this sort of thing, because I put these candy corn stickers here, and so I feel like I want this all to be autumnal. And then last night I started copying out quotes from The Secret History by Donna Tartt. So yeah, that's what we're doing now. I always highlight portions of quotes that I like particularly like. And here, for example, like this annotation. So this quote is, let God consume us, devour us, unstring our bones, then spit us out reborn. And this quote is the epigraph for Tenderly I Am Devoured, which I'm currently reading. And as soon as I read that as the epigraph, I was like, oh, this is going to be a good book. And it is a very good book. So I felt like I should have, I kind of wanted to point that out. Also, like, they're not very deep, my observations, like this one. I wrote this quote down because I find it so funny. This is, I like Homer, I said weakly. He regarded me with chill distaste. I love Homer, he said. And that Henry moment always reminds me of the food critic from Ratatouille, where he says, like, I don't like food, I love it. And I just feel like, obviously Donna Tartt wrote this book way before Ratatouille, but maybe the creators of Ratatouille were inspired by this. I just think it's really funny. Anyway, okay, yeah. So currently working on Secret History quotes. So I'm up to page 252, and yeah, maybe we can continue some of this, and then we can go back. I might fill up these 2 pages as far as I can, or maybe overflow onto this page, and then we'll go back to Tenderly I Am Devoured, because there was quite a few quotes I highlighted last night. I'm getting more into highlighting things on my Kindle, because I'm reading it on my Kindle. It's on Kindle Unlimited. If I'm reading something in paperback, I will just stick a tab and use a pencil to highlight stuff. Also, you can see, like, this copy of The Secret History is pretty destroyed. I think I've read this copy 4 times, and the first time I read this is sand in the spine, you can see. The first time I read this, I was on holiday with my sister in Corfu, so you can actually see the sand from Corfu in the spine here. So yeah, it got a bit soggy on the beach and like by the pool and stuff. Some of the pages are quite crinkly. I think because I kept like putting it down like on my wet like bikini top. Anyway, yes, so I'm using this clip just to hold the book open while I write. So yeah. Also, sometimes I've like highlighted something that I really liked when I was reading, and then when I like read back, I'm like, oh, I don't really need to copy that in here. I was doing that quite a lot with the Sylvia Plath quotes. I think some things at the time I really liked, and now when I've come back to them, like honestly like a couple of years, quite a few years later, I've kind of felt like it didn't resonate with me as much, or there wasn't something I needed to copy out and like into this Commonplace. So yes. Also, I will just grab something else because there's some other quotes I want to put in here. There's a reference in the Musgrave Ritual by Arthur Conan Doyle to Sherlock Holmes keeping his own Commonplace book, and I always like to put that in my Commonplace book because I've had a few iterations of this. So what I'm going to do is grab a previous iteration of this book so I can copy out that quote, because I can't remember which book it's in. So I'm just going to grab my copied out version. So I'll be back in a minute. This is my 2023 Hobonichi weeks, which I didn't use for very long because I swapped into a spring start one. Anyway, I did do some commonplacing in the back, very much inspired by my friend Megan. So yeah, here's the Sherlock Holmes quotes. And then I've got some journals of Sylvia Plath and like notes about knitting and things. So there. Okay, let's put that to one side. Okay, well, let's continue with the secret history. Oh, I also have some tools here, which I thought I would show you quickly is what I use when I'm commonplacing. I don't really put many stickers in. I don't need to put any stickers in, but I don't know, sometimes it's just nice to have a little bit of something. But yeah, I don't do much decoration in this book, which I actually am really enjoying, like not doing loads of decoration in here. Just like one sticker is like something like immensely satisfying about that. So yeah. So tools, I have an eraser which looks a bit worse for wear because I used to, when I was a student, I carried this in my pencil case and I was used to stick my scalpel knife in this to stop myself getting cut on it when I was like rummaging in my pencil case. So yeah, I've had this eraser for like 10 years maybe, yeah. It's a Staedtler one. I've got correction tape. This is a Pentel Weezer, although I can't really find I got this one because it's refillable, but I can't really find refills for this anymore, so I have some in my drawer that I bought at Aldi, I think. And then the pen I use in here is Uni Jetstream, so it's the same pen that comes free with Hobonichi purchases from their online shop. I'm currently writing with this 2024 one, but I actually have loads of these pens. I've got, this one is just a one colour one. I bought this at Kinokuniya in New York. I have this 3 colour one, which is a Hyangodon. This came from Stationery Pal. I've also got this one. This is my favourite pen, in case you can't tell. I really like the way this one feels to write with. So maybe I'll actually write with this. How much ink is in here? Oh yeah, okay. Might write with that one. And then I also have here, let's get rid of those. This is a Uni Jetstream. This is a 4 colour one, and it also has a pencil. My friend picked this up for me when she was in Japan, and this is a bit of a fancier one because it's got this bamboo grip, and this is comfy to write with too, but it's a bit chunkier than the others because it has 4 colours. Okay, sorry, just had to close the door to the balcony because somebody started doing construction work outside, which is very nice. I was saying, this one is a bit heavier than my others because it's got, I think the body's metal rather than plastic, so yeah. But yeah, I've been using the pencil to draw in the lines because it's a nice fine mechanical pencil, and it also has a eraser in the top, which is very cool. So yes, okay. Let's go for it. I always angle my book this way to write. I'm right-handed, so. So I always put the page number as well, in case I want to find that quote again, or like find the context for where that quote was. Okay. So here is an example of something that like I probably don't need to copy out because it's really long. But I am going to put this one in here. Okay, so also sometimes when I am like looking for quotes that I have highlighted, I will see something else that I like. This quote here about Henry. He began to fish in the pocket of his bathrobe, pulling out matches, pen nibs, his blue enamel pill box. I just really like that. I find a lot of the quotes from The Secret History that I have like highlighted are to do with the way that scenery and like landscape and weather and stuff is described. I don't know why, but there you go. I guess I really like that imagery in this book. I'm just going to add a note about this quote. Because something just came to me. So this is now, I'm copying out some things from part 2 of this book. which is after Bunny has been killed, and this is right after they have killed Bunny, same day. And there's this quote about it. Basically, it starts to snow in April, and yeah, this quote, "a nightmarish topsy-turvy land," which has kind of made me think that you know, Richard's thinking that because they've just killed Bunny, and he can't really believe what they've done. So I'm just gonna write about that here, and I'm gonna draw a line, but I'm just leaving myself plenty of space to write, because I made a mistake here. I wrote like an oxymoron, but it was like a deadly oxymoron, so I just put that in the margin. I could have correction taped, but I don't know why I didn't, to be honest. Anyway. Okay, so I think for now I'm going to stop with the secret history because it's kind of reached a good point. And I'm going to draw a line in here in pencil to kind of delineate a new entry or a different entry. Okay. And then I'm going to look at some quotes from Tenderly I Am Devoured, and then we'll do Sherlock Holmes. I write the titles in this Pentel brush sign pen in dark brown. Let's see. I can't remember where I left off. Phew, okay, that was more than I thought I'd highlighted. But there we go. I put this swan sticker in because this book has lots of swan imagery, and there's like a kind of a god that sort of takes the shape of a swan. So I thought this was really good. It came to me while I was writing this stuff down. It's from Lin Chia Ning. Okay, let's quickly put the Sherlock Holmes stuff in here because we probably have over an hour of footage already, so yeah, it's going to be a lot to edit. Okay. Okay, I just really liked these quotes from the beginning of this short story. Yeah, I really liked it. I think it just is a really good illustration of Holmes being really chaotic. Okay. Okay, I just added one of these stickers from my shop. This is from Stamps and Scraps. I just thought that these long thick stickers would fit in this small gap. Okay, I think that's everything. I did remember, let me just grab it. I did remember that I have fairly recently reread An Education in Malice by S.T. Gibson and have tabbed loads of things. And I remembered this because I'm copying out quotes from The Secret History. There's a character called Camilla, and I have multiple times written Carmilla instead because I've read a few Carmilla retellings the past year. And yeah, this was a reread, but the first time I read it, I was reading it as an advanced reader, which is very exciting, on my Kindle, and then I've reread the paperback. And yes, you can see that there are many tabs, so I definitely want to put those quotes in here as well, so maybe this is a future video. Let me know if you're interested. This is going to take a while, but maybe we could power through it all in one video. I don't know, it's maybe too much, but we'll see. So yes, okay, I hope you enjoyed this little look inside my Commonplace book. I really have been having a great time in here. And yeah, we filled up quite a few pages. So we started here at the beginning of this video, and we filled up all of this. So satisfying, and the pages, they're so crinkly. So, okay. Goodbye for now, and let me know if you have any questions. Leave me a comment, and I will try and get back to you in a timely-ish manner. And I hopefully will do more videos on this book, so stay tuned, subscribe for those, and I will speak to you all soon. Goodbye.